So, in terms of the crossover coming up, what is it like for you guys in the writer's room and on the other side of things in terms of like putting it together? Like, what, just in terms of that, like, what is it like putting it together?
Challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a challenging process. In this particular crossover, it's not really a crossover. It's one event, so
Right.
It's not handoff to handoff to handoff. It's more like a movie starring the characters of everyone in the Chicago universe. And Eriq had the opportunity to direct the Chicago PD part of this event, so he's got some insight into the crossover process as well. But they're challenging. I mean, they're big. They're a nightmare for production, logistical issues, scheduling. You know, people who don't write your show, writing parts of your show. We're writing parts of other people's shows and voices. So to get it all right, hopefully, is a big challenge. Challenging? Should I just keep using
Challenging.
That's a good word.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a real thing, and so given the event that we're trying to create and make it a special night of TV, we thought we'd take something that is, I think it was Dick's idea. Wolf, I thought it was something topical that we could really dig into. So it's exciting.
So what are you most proud of, either with the crossover or with just what's been done so far in this season? What's something that you're especially proud of?
Season? They're all my. You feel like they're all your children, so you don't pick. I mean, I'd say the thing I'm most proud of, and I think Eriq and I are most proud of, is just we just try to tell really honest stories about Chicago cops trying to be Chicago cops in 2019, and how hard it is, how challenging it is, what that really looks like, and be truthful about topics that make people uncomfortable. I think that's the thing I know that he and I talk about all the time, and that's the thing that keeps us both excited about doing the show.
I know that's something that fans have noticed, obviously, when you guys both came over and took over the helm, is that it got a little darker in tone, but also just more realistic, I think. And so is that something that was important to you guys when you guys got behind the scenes of this show to bring that voice that may or may not have been there before you guys got here, and telling those stories, like you said, that are important to you? Was that important to you guys to bring into this world?
I think, when we, for the first time, we were sort of, we were hired individually.
Right.
He was hired, I was, and then it was like, oh, you guys need to get together, and we had lunch, and our first meeting, we knew we were going for the same thing, and it was, and we have these buoy phrases that we do, so that we land on, and one thing that came out of the conversation was, everyone's right in our world. The bad guys are right. The good guys are right. They're right from their point of view. They're right from their point of view. And obviously we can judge things and we can do this, and how Hank, how Voight handles things sometimes. But he's doing, with all the information he has, he's doing what he feels is right. So when you have that kind of similar goal, I think it just really made us very directional and very pointed in where we wanted to go, where we saw an opportunity to take the show, because that in itself makes you much more truthful. And so once we decided, once it wasn't even a decision, once we just came together and that truth was important to both of us, then it's like, how many levels can we explore? Racial, gender, what types of crimes, what is justice? And I think that's the thing that I think we do very well, because justice for us isn't always, the way it has been on traditional TV. The good guy catches the bad guy. Sometimes it costs, you know, and we talk a lot of times about what is the cost. So when you have all of those things, it makes it easier for it to take on a darker, more realistic tone, because that's what the truth really is. It's not how we want it to be all the time. Sometimes our guys lose. That's our heroes lose, and that's a great universe to be in. We're your heroes, because now, even as an audience member, you don't know. There are certain shows in the 70s and 80s that you watch, and even early 90s. You knew the good guy was always going to. You knew the outcome. You don't always know the outcome with our show, and even when you think sometimes, well, yes, justice was served, but it costs all of this over here. I don't even know how I feel about that, and I think that's really exciting for us storytellers.
What kind of role does the audience maybe play into what's happening in your guys' life? Like, is someone monitoring social media? Is someone looking at the balance and how they're reacting with such hard topics to kind of talk about today, especially police in Chicago?
I mean, I know I try not to pay a lot of attention to what people think, because then you're influenced by people you've never met and don't know, wondering how they're judging something you're doing. So I hope people are engaged, and even if they disagree, that's fine. I like when people disagree and go crazy and start saying, why did you let, and they start venting and taking out their frustration about what we did. It means they're engaged and that they're emotional about it. But I think, like what Eriq was just saying, as long as we're truthful to the story and the characters, I feel like we're doing our job, and then people can judge it, hate it, like it. I think you can hate an episode and still love a show. And so we're just trying to be honest, about hard issues. He and I, you're asking what we're proud of. He and I, generally the same age. I'm a white guy, he's a black guy, and we talk about race in the most honest and judgment-free way that allows us to tell really good stories. And a lot of our ideas come from just personal conversations. We're not saying, let's break a story, or let's talk about what could happen at Atwater and Ruzick. We'll just be talking, and things, I'll ask questions, he'll ask questions, and we'll have different points of views, and you learn things that you might not otherwise learn, because especially in today's times, people are really afraid to talk really honestly and ask really hard questions about these issues. I'd say, that's something that as a person, I look forward to the conversation, but it helps in the storytelling.
Absolutely.
So, we know we're looking forward to the crossover. What else can you kind of tease about what we can expect coming up?
Let's see. We've got some big things. I'm just trying to figure out how to say it without giving it away. I think Burgess will have a big event occur in their life. That will be interesting, possibly exciting, possibly challenging. I think you'll see the Halstead-Upton relationship will continue to evolve. And our fall finale is really exciting, that it pays off a story that we introduced earlier in the year and involving Halstead. What else I can say without giving away things?
Those are good teasers.
What's it like writing Bryna in a different universe?
It's great. It's great. He gives you a lot of autonomy and latitude. And Dick's a pragmatic, brilliant guy, and he's just like, make it good. You know what I mean? Like, and he'll let you know if it's not. And that's so you've got his support, you've got his infrastructure, you've got his voice if you need it, you've got his, his power, but it's really just Dick wants things to be really good, and he trusts the two of us to do it. And that's kind of, I don't know, that's how I look at it.
Eriq, for you, I'm just curious, what is this, like, I know obviously you had a long career in front of the camera, behind the camera, but like in terms of like working solely behind the camera on this show, like what has that move behind the camera been like for you?
It's been amazing. I mean, for me, it's just about storytelling, and now to have real input into the storytelling and the execution of the storytelling is, for me, it's extremely gratifying, because it's just like, you have a concept, and you're in there, and a lot of times as an actor, you're handed something and told, just do this. Here, the conversation is always a lot deeper as a producer, and Rick runs the kind of show that it's collaborative. So you're not, no one is dictated to this, here, do this, go shoot this, just the way it's written. There's collaboration, there are disagreements, there are different points of view. The bottom line is, it's like, best idea wins. That's another one of our big things that we say. So it makes no difference. And I, in Chicago, I run Chicago the same way. So you can be an assistant. If you sit in on a meeting and you have a great opinion, that opinion is welcome. We don't play hierarchy. We don't play the class system. We play the best execution and idea game, and that's it. So, so now to be a part of that from the beginning, is extremely gratifying. More gratifying than I think just acting. And I love acting, but this is just on a completely different level, and it grows, and there's always different challenges. We're stuck on something. How do we get it to work? We both know it's not quite working. And then we've set a certain bar where most people or shows might be satisfied with something working on this level, but we know we can get it higher. And so now let's get it there. So it's really cool.
I just had a good one. As a producer, you're wearing a lot of hats. Are there any hats that you might have worn maybe earlier in your career that people maybe not expect of you? Like, were you sewing some costumes, rigging some lights? Is there anything?
No, this is it. I used to do catering. No, I'm joking. No, it's just, like I said, it's about anything connected to storytelling. No, I think the slight difference now is also everything is about storytelling. So I'm more intrigued with wardrobe. I'm more intrigued with lighting. I'm more intrigued because it's everything contributing to the best story. And so by me being the on-the-ground producer here, I empower everyone around me to be storytellers. So when we have meetings, sometimes the best idea, my first AD is an amazing storyteller. And just from me watching how he ADs and the notes that he gives, he has an opportunity this year to direct, because it came out of me sitting there sometimes in meetings going, this guy just, I was having a problem with trying to figure out how to do something. This guy came and said, well, if you do this and do this and do this, and I said, yeah, that's storytelling. That's not an AD. That's a storyteller. So I don't care where it comes from. Best idea wins. Okay. Wow.
Thank you guys.